you see like a Caitlin Clark, what advice would you have maybe for her?
I just love that she tries to stay grounded, and she says she doesn't. What did she say? She doesn't have a social. She doesn't look at her social, and I get it. I don't either.
When Serena Williams, one of the greatest tennis players ever with 23 Grand Slam titles, sees herself in a young basketball rookie, it's something special. At her documentary premiere, Williams didn't talk about her own legendary career. Instead, she focused on 22-year-old Caitlin Clark, a player who has changed basketball. Her message was clear: the people who criticize Clark are just upset because they can't do what she does.
I think it's so important to continue to do what she's doing, and no matter what other people do, then if people are negative, it's because they can't do what you do, basically, and hopefully she'll continue to do what she's doing.
Williams really understood what she was talking about here. She knew firsthand how hard it is to be someone who changes a sport while dealing with people who push back against those changes. Her support for Clark means a lot because she sees herself in Clark's story. A young woman doing things nobody had done before, setting new records and dealing with criticism as she changed how people saw the sport.
This girl is a superstar. I've been saying it for years. I keep telling everybody she's the Steph Curry of women's basketball.
Let's talk about what Clark actually did in her rookie year with the Indiana Fever. Clark had an incredible rookie season, leading all rookies in scoring with 19.2 points per game, which ranked 7th in the entire league. She also led the WNBA in assists, averaging 8.4 per game, and made the most three-pointers with 122. Along the way, she broke several records, including the single-season rookie scoring record, the single-season assist record, and the single-game assist record. In July, she made history as the first rookie in the WNBA's 28 years to record a triple-double, and then added a second one on September 4th.
And Caitlin Clark has a triple-double. It's the second ever for a rookie, and they both belong to her.
The ex-Iowa Hawkeye also became the first rookie to make 100 three-pointers in a single WNBA season. The Indiana Fever used to struggle to fill seats, but right now, they're selling out games left and right. They hadn't made the playoffs since 2016, but with Clark on the team, they're back in the postseason. Also, TV ratings have gone through the roof. Every time Clark plays, more people tune in to watch women's basketball than ever before.
She's got the it factor, and people love her.
You know, Caitlin Clark is a show, and people are attracted to that.
But here's where things get interesting, and a little sad. While Clark is busy making history and bringing more attention and money to women's basketball than ever before, some people just can't handle her success. The other day, it was Angel Reese. Today, it is A'ja Wilson.
A'ja Wilson, who bitch, whined, and moaned, and continues to bitch, whine, and moan, that Caitlin Clark is only popular because she's white. Couldn't be more far off. Hey, look, we love Steph Curry as a black man because of how he plays. We don't give two craps about Steph Curry or Caitlin Clark being white, black, green, or purple. When in doubt, yell racism, and when in doubt, look stupid doing it. And the latest is this moron named A'ja Wilson.
It's interesting to see how these two players talk about each other. Clark keeps saying nice things about Wilson. At a Fever practice, she spoke about how amazing Wilson is. She's pretty incredible. No one can guard her. She even took time to point out all the things Wilson does well, like her shooting and great defense. But Wilson isn't being nice back. Instead of saying anything good about Clark, she just talks trash and puts her down. It's strange to see. While Clark is being respectful and kind, Wilson won't even give her basic respect back. Despite being a star player herself, Wilson has spent more time complaining about Clark than celebrating what she's doing for the game. In an interview, A'ja Wilson spoke about her frustration with people saying she's only in the spotlight because of Caitlin Clark. But let's be real, Clark's impact on the game has brought more attention to everyone, including Wilson. In another interview, A'ja Wilson said she dreaded playing in Indiana because of Clark's popularity. Think about that. A professional athlete dreading games because another player is bringing more fans to the sport. She's called Clark's supporters idiotic and suggested that Clark's success somehow takes away from other players. It's hard to see these comments as anything but pure jealousy. And Wilson's not alone. Former NBA player Lou Williams jumped on the criticism bandwagon, saying Clark doesn't deserve to be the face of the WNBA.
Lou, after being Time Magazine's Athlete of the Year, Basketball Reference, revealed that Caitlin Clark was the most viewed WNBA player in all 50 states. You buying that she's the face of the WNBA?
I am buying the fact let me skate on this one. I'm not buying that. No, okay. I'm not buying that. I still think that belongs to A'ja Wilson.
Really? The player who's bringing in record-breaking viewership, selling out arenas, and making the whole league more popular doesn't deserve to be its face? It seems like some people would rather hold on to their piece of a smaller pie than share a much bigger one that Clark is helping to create. But let's look at what Clark's former coach, Lisa Bluder, has to say. She believes no one has helped women's sports this much since Billie Jean King. That's not just praise. That's putting Clark in the company of someone who literally changed sports history. And unlike Wilson's complaints, Bluder's words are backed up by real numbers and facts.
When Caitlin's light shines on her, it shines on all of us, and I think everybody else needs to embrace that a little bit better.
Want proof? Since Clark joined the league, the WNBA has seen its popularity explode. Merchandise sales are through the roof. More people are talking about and watching women's basketball than ever before. And here's the best part. As we said earlier, this success isn't just helping Clark. It's helping every player in the league, including those who seem too busy being jealous to notice. When Clark was named Time Magazine's Athlete of the Year for 2024, some people couldn't even let her have that moment. Washington Mystics owner Sheila Johnson suggested the whole WNBA should have been on the cover instead, but as Bluder wasn't having any of it. It's silly to me that anybody's trying to take away from something that's so good in your sport right now, Bluder said when asked to comment on what Sheila Johnson said. I mean, this is a person that's really helped athletics, helped women's sport in a way that nobody has helped women's sports maybe since Billie Jean King, Bluder continued. So let's get on the bandwagon and help her out, make her life a little bit easier because she is helping all of us. And sometimes, we used to tell our Iowa team, listen, when Caitlin's light shines on her, it shines on all of us. And I think everybody else needs to embrace that a little bit better. Well, that pretty much sums it up, doesn't it? WNBA legend Rebecca Lobo points out something important. Clark has handled all this pressure almost flawlessly. No scandals, no angry outbursts, just pure basketball excellence and class, even when facing criticism that clearly comes from envy rather than honest evaluation. While Wilson complains about having to play in Indiana, Clark is busy breaking records and bringing new fans to the game. While critics question whether she deserves attention, she's letting her play do the talking, and what her play says is pretty amazing. Take her style of game, for example. Clark doesn't just score. She puts on a show that makes people want to watch women's basketball. Those half-court shots that people said wouldn't work in the pros, she's making them. Those no-look passes that leave defenders spinning, they're now regular highlights on SportsCenter. She's not just playing basketball, she's making it more exciting and bringing in fans who never watched women's basketball before. Now, perhaps the most powerful endorsement comes from Serena Williams herself. When she tells Clark to ignore social media and focus on her game, that's advice from someone who knows exactly what it's like to change a sport while dealing with critics. When Serena says those who criticize Clark can't do what she does, she's speaking from experience about how success often breeds jealousy. Looking ahead, it's clear that Clark's impact will only grow bigger. She's not just playing basketball, she's revolutionizing how people watch and think about women's sports. While some players might be too caught up in their own jealousy to see it, Clark is making the whole sport bigger, better, and more popular than ever before. The truth is, we're watching something special happen in women's basketball. Clark isn't just a great player, she's a once-in-a-generation talent who's making everyone around her more successful, whether they appreciate it or not. While some players like Wilson might continue to complain and show their jealousy, the facts speak for themselves. Caitlin Clark is the best thing to happen to women's basketball in decades. As Serena Williams has pointed out, real greatness always faces resistance. But in the end, history remembers the ones who changed the game, not the ones who complained about change happening. And make no mistake, Caitlin Clark is changing the game, one amazing play at a time, no matter how much it might bother those who wish they could do what she does. The future of women's basketball isn't just bright with Clark leading the way, it's blazing. And while some might be too blinded by jealousy to see it, millions of new fans are watching and loving every minute of it. That's not just success, that's revolution. And it's happening right before our eyes, whether Aja Wilson likes it or not. Thanks for watching.